The problems were that I had very debilitating symptoms. I had fatigue that I couldn't function. I had lightheadedness and I couldn't think. My joints hurt and all they told me was that it was arthritis, but there was nothing they could do except take medication. I had GI problems, IBS, my skin was a mess. I spent years using typical treatment methods for symptoms that were all related to lupus that I didn't know were related to lupus. Medications and the treatments that I got for the issues that I was having did not work. When my doctor diagnosed me with lupus, she told me there were 2 treatments. So I could take the hydroxychloroquine every day, and there were no real answers as to what the side effects might be. So I opted not to do that one. The other one was just to, every time I had a flare, I was to call the doctor and get on a prednisone pack. And basically, you took prednisone to get the inflammation to calm down for like 6 days. And so that was the option I chose because I thought it would be better for my body overall. Unfortunately, because I did not know what symptoms looked like and the doctors couldn't tell me, because with lupus, you can have the same disease as someone else. So if I had a friend who has lupus, we can talk about it. But if I told her, these are my symptoms, and she had completely different symptoms, which happens all the time, she wouldn't even know that that was lupus. And I wouldn't either, because nobody gave me a list of what those symptoms were. First of all, there was no internet. Even if I'd had that list, each person is different. So like you can get one symptom that lasts a year. You could get 2 symptoms that last 3 days. You can get a combination of any of the symptoms that last a combination of any amount of time. It is so bizarre that it's really, really, really hard to pinpoint the things that are going on, whether they're from lupus or something else. But 30 years ago, I had no idea. I had absolutely zero idea of what lupus flares looked like. And the doctors couldn't tell me because everyone was so individual. Each person's body presented their illness different ways. I'm a mother of 3 children and a wife. And the reality of parenting with this illness was I just had to keep going. When my children needed me, I had to be there for them. I had to be there at school. I had to be there during school and after school and all the things that you do as a mother to raise your children right. And so I just did it and I pushed through and somehow I was able to do it. One of the hardest things was all the doctors I saw. I saw so many doctors that I had never seen before and none of them could give me an answer. They were saying this, it could be this, it could be that. And they never really ever came to a consensus until 8 years later. The way they figured out that I have lupus was very bizarre. Systemic lupus can attack every organ in your body. Whether it does or not, that's individual. It decided to attack my biggest organ, which is my skin. So it was attacking my scalp and I was losing hair and I had sores all over my arms and on my face. And it was really hard to have that. The doctors actually took a biopsy off of my scalp and sent it into a lab to find out what was going on. And that lab sent back a letter that said, we think this is lupus. It's most likely lupus, but we need a few more tests and a little bit more time with her having symptoms to know that that's exactly what it was. So I had to suffer having all these symptoms, keeping track so that they could then say one day, yeah, all your symptoms are lupus. We've exhausted all the other choices that it could be, like diabetes and Epstein-Barr and all the things that they used to test me for. I kind of feel like a guinea pig because 30 years ago, the doctors knew what autoimmune illness was, but they didn't know very much about it. I don't even think they knew all the ways that autoimmune illness could attack somebody's body until years went by and they had patients like me who had all of these symptoms that didn't fit anything else. I guess I'm okay with being a guinea pig, but at the time, I didn't know. I didn't know what was going on. I just kept moving forward. I just kept doing what I could do. I wish I'd known more back then, but I didn't. And I'm not the kind of person to regret my decisions because I'd made the best decisions I could at the time. I should have been on the daily medications right from the start. All I can do is be grateful that they have found out what's going on with me and that I'm on those medications now and my symptoms are calmed down and I can basically function like I need to and want to every day. If you are having mystery symptoms now and wondering what they are, you're going to have a much easier time of finding a diagnosis than I did, because there's so much more knowledge now. There are so many more different treatments that they have for these autoimmune diseases. So just don't give up. Keep seeing doctors, keep seeing people, keep researching, keep finding out what it is that's going on in your body. And then you can do more to help yourself to get through it and to thrive, not just survive, but thrive. Do you have a list of mystery symptoms that you don't know what they're from? Have you been diagnosed with an autoimmune disease, and what is it, and how do you cope? How do you keep moving in all of that chaos of things going on in your body that you never asked for? Let me know. Let me know in the comments, what have you dealt with? What are you continuing to deal with? And how do you do it?